All right, so today is Heal Yourself Tuesdays, and we're going to be working on healing any limiting beliefs that you might have around AI stealing from you. This is a thing. So, in the comments, I want you to let me know how you feel about AI, whether you love it, whether you hate it, whether you are in an intimate relationship with it, like I'm hearing people talk about, like AI is my boyfriend. uh, that's a little bit much for me, but hey, to each their own. Not me. No, thank you. I actually like humans. I do. I actually like humans. So no AI as my lover. But AI is great as a business partner. And I personally feel like I have a very healthy relationship with AI. I also have a very healthy relationship with the human race and the animal kingdom. I also like vegetables. So I'm just saying, I'm healthy. I don't have a lot of fears, but I know that you do. And I see a lot of entrepreneurs these days that are being held back by those fears of AI. And I wanted to create today's topic for them or for you if you're one of those. So AI is everywhere right now. It's in every business conversation, it's in every marketing strategy, it's in every single tool recommendation. It has some kind of an AI component. And you're definitely experiencing AI in your social media feed if you're doing that. So if you're out in the world, you're experiencing AI, whether you like it or not, and whether you know it or not. So for many women coaches, especially if you're someone who has built their practice on um, loving the depth of humanity, loving intuition, and really feeling very related to other human beings, the arrival of AI can feel less like an opportunity and more like a threat. So it can be like a threat to your relevance, a threat to your authenticity, a threat to the authenticity of your work. I hear this all the time. I just actually had a really big argument with my cousins who are much younger than I am, and they are convinced that AI is taking over the world and that other human beings are craving AI more than they are craving human connection. So, a threat to your work, to what you believe in, I think that I can understand the fear, but I don't believe in the fear. And I certainly don't recommend that you make this fear uh, an integral part of your life. If you are having this fear, I strongly suggest that you do work on yourself to find a more empowered position so that you are not struggling and holding yourself back in this way. So, and I think this is also really important, especially for coaches, especially for healers, especially for people who work from a spiritual or an energetic place. I think that AI can feel like a threat to the very thing that makes you think you're good at what you're doing by being somebody who's deeply feeling, deeply present, and deeply human, right? You're deeply there and present, bringing all of your human self, your experience, your wisdom, all that stuff you earned the hard way, bringing that to your audience. Look, I understand that AI would feel like a threat to that. And what I've noticed is a lot of women resist. They ignore the AI tutorials. They tell themselves that they're going to figure it out later, or they'll get into that when it becomes more popular. Oh my God. Um, They watch other coaches using it and they feel this kind of complicated mixture of curiosity and dread and judgment. But in the meantime, the content that could be reaching their ideal clients is not getting created because it takes so freaking long to create it yourself. And the visibility that could be building your authority is not happening because the operational weight of doing everything without AI support is consuming a whole bunch of your time and your energy and your focus and your bandwidth. And in order to get visible in this day and age, you need to have more of an engine, more automations behind you. Even for me, what I'm doing with the spiritual business hour, what I do in my business, I have a beautiful team of people to help me. It is still a lot for all of us. So, yes, you do need to be able to have some space for AI. The clients who could be finding you are finding somebody else instead, somebody who's using the tool that you are afraid of, and they're learning how to use it so that they are able to show up consistently, to show up clearly, and to be in multiple places at one time, like I am doing at this very moment. I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 channels right now. And that is awesome. And that is partially and due to AI and also partially due to Zaina. Thank you, Zaina. 3 cheers for Zaina. Give her some love in the comments, my friends. So if you're doing everything the hard way out of fear of AI, that is a problem. It's slowing you down, and I don't recommend that you stay stuck there. That's what today's live stream is all about. So welcome to the Spiritual Business Hour with Crystal Lynn Bell. I'm Crystal Lynn. I'm a spiritual business mentor. I help women coaches who have accumulated significant insight and experience, but who are missing the infrastructure that brings consistent clients and consistent income. So my purpose is to guide them to convert their wisdom into revenue. I diagnose where their business is failing, and together we build the sustainable systems that bring them paying clients every single month. Now, if you want to enroll 5 paying clients this month, then I want you to join me live for the 5 client breakthrough. It's happening tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, and it's on Zoom. So you're going to need to sign up. And you see, Zaina, she just typed in the link for you. So please sign up for that. It's absolutely free to attend. I'm going to be teaching my proven 5-point system to bring in your next 5 clients. So during the session, there are 4 things that we're going to be showing you. You're going to discover the number 1 secret to why your next 5 clients haven't shown up yet. So why are you hearing crickets? Why is your calendar empty? Number 2, you're going to learn the key to getting a consistent, you have to be able to say the word consistent, all right? A consistent flow of new clients coming in every single month. There's a secret to that. There's a way to do that. I'm going to be talking to you about that so that you can get on board and start experiencing that yourself. I'm going to show you how to get started with the most important mindset that is going to change your entire business. It's also going to change your entire person, all right? But this mindset is exactly where you must start if you want to bring in your next 5 clients. And lastly, I'm going to show you how to avoid the biggest mistake that keeps talented, capable, beautiful, open-hearted coaches like you stuck for years, putting an end to errors like shiny object syndrome. That is the thing I talked about yesterday. And let me tell you, preparing for yesterday's live stream was so informative And I had to call myself out so many times. It was really confronting. If you haven't watched yesterday's live stream, you can find it on my channel. Just go back, look on my feed, scroll down to the last video. It's there. It was a good one, man. It was really a good one. So, today I'm going to give you 5 fears around AI. And, again, maybe you have these fears, or maybe you know someone who has these fears, but today you're going to learn some ways to see the world and see this new AI in ways that are more expansive and not contracting. Because let me tell you, the people that I'm listening to when they are talking about AI, these are not the people that I am seeing expanding into the world and sharing themselves in ways that are healthy and where they're getting the attention that they are wanting, but they are avoiding by hiding behind these fears of AI. So I want to just kind of say your resistance to AI is not about protecting your authenticity. It's more about protecting your comfort zone. And the cost of that protection is showing up in your client numbers and in your bank account. So every significant fear that coaches are carrying around AI, they have a specific energetic signature, and that signature contracts the coach, contracts the coach's income, contracts the coach's business, contracts the flow of clients. And next thing you know, you have disappeared and you are stuck, and it's really hard to break free. So the fear that AI is going to make your work feel inauthentic, that's an issue. The fear that AI is going to replace your contracts, right? That's an issue. The fear that it's going to bring you the wrong people, that's an issue. The fear that your clients are going to find out, that is an issue, right? These are all things that are slowing you down, holding you back, keeping you stuck, and I want you to avoid that. AI is not here to replace your depth, your wisdom, or your genuine human presence. Just because you see other people using AI in that way does not mean that you need to be afraid or that you're going to be forced to do things that way. Just bear with me. Let's talk about those fears right now. Now, fear number one, the one that I hear the most, is that AI is going to make your work feel fake. The belief that AI is in charge of your content, and therefore the content is no longer genuinely yours, that is a corruption of your own understanding of who you are and what you're doing and how you're using AI. So this fear is rooted in a misunderstanding of what AI actually does in the creative process. AI does not have your story, your philosophy, your hard-earned wisdom, or your specific perspective on the problems that your clients face. It has language patterns, it has other people's philosophies, and what you have is irreplaceable original thought. You have original thought. AI is simply a tool for expressing that thought in a more efficient way, more consistently, and in formats that you couldn't produce alone. So AI can create spreadsheets for you, it can create PDFs for you, it can actually create layouts for you, but without you, AI is just broad, general, weird shit, okay? So what you need to understand is that, like a painter who uses a high quality brush doesn't fake the painting, okay? The painter has to know how to use the brush. Just because they're using a high quality brush and high quality paints does not mean that they didn't do this beautiful work of art. Likewise, junk in, junk out. If you aren't doing good philosophy, if you're not thinking deeply, if you're not being a thought leader, you can use AI, and AI is not going to make you look smarter. It's not going to make you look brighter. What it's going to make you look like is generic, because junk in, junk out. AI is not going to do the work for you. All right. So a coach who uses AI to like draft or to organize or to amplify her genuine ideas. She didn't fake the content. The authenticity lives in the ideas and in her experience. And that is what's determining her ability to put information into the AI app to be able to get out whatever it is that she wants. You cannot put junk into AI and expect AI to give you something wonderful. It does not work that way. And I dare you to show me somebody who has put in something wonderful, put in something junky and gotten something wonderful. We can see through that. And we can see through it, maybe not in that one piece of writing content, but when that coach goes to open her mouth and junk falls out, that's all on her. AI has not done anything to make her junky. She did that to herself. So AI just helps you get the ideas out of your head and into the world faster. Now, here's a practical solution for you. When you're using AI, start with your own voice, okay? Record a voice memo of your raw thoughts on a topic, unedited. You can edit them if you want to, you can polish them if you want to, but you don't have to. That's AI's job, to take your ideas and help you present them in a more coherent way than if you were doing it on your own. Okay? So you're going to feed the raw material into AI, and you're going to ask it to help you shape it into a post, an email, a blog, whatever you want. All right? And then what you need to do is read everything that it produces out loud and then edit it back to your own voice before the publishing. So that way, what goes out is still yours. AI just handed you something that is yours, but edited. You know, when a writer writes a book, you don't actually get the actual book that they wrote. You get an edited and re-edited and triple edited, and then a proofread, and then a re-proofread, and then a double edited, and then a corrected version, so that everything is flowing and nobody's complaining. Nobody's saying, hey, Stephen King, you had an editor go over your book. That's fake. No, we do not. Why? Because we know that Stephen King wrote the thing, or whoever wrote the thing. Personally, I don't care who wrote the thing. If I like reading it, that's what I'm focused on. I don't make other people my hero. I am my own hero. The people that I love are my real heroes. And sure, I do, respect people that are in the media, but I don't give them the power and make them gods. All right. You need to understand nobody needs you to be a god. All we need are your ideas. So focus on giving your ideas, and then you are going to be in the best place to help people, which is what you're here for. If you're a writer, it's a different story. Maybe you have a different relationship. But, as far as I know, this is a spiritual business hour. My name's Crystal Lynn Bell, and I work with coaches. I work with healers. I work with people like that, not professional authors. All right. That's on them whether they want to use AI or not. All right. Let's get into fear number two. Fear number two is AI is going to replace me with period. AI is just going to replace me. All right. That's pretty funny to me because I don't know any AI that I can touch and say, hey, and shake their hand. I don't know any AI like that. I do not want to touch AI. I do not want to shake your hand. Okay. ChatGPT, I love you. I do not need to shake your hand. All right. So, no, you're not going to be replaced by AI. There's this really deep existential fear that if AI can do what coaches do, the market is going to stop needing human coaches entirely. So investing in AI is somehow like taking food off of the plate of coaches. No, it is not. No, it is not, my friend. So AI, as nice as it sounds, cannot hold space. It cannot feel the specific quality of a human's resistance in a coaching session. That's not true. Well, let me say that differently. AI can pick up on resistance. What did I say earlier? It recognizes language patterns. AI is about language patterns. Resistance can show up in language patterns. However, only humans and pets and animals, okay, living sentient beings can actually feel in this plane. AI doesn't have a heart. You do, okay? So your clients will have resistance. AI can't pick up on that. AI doesn't know intuitively what questions to ask. What it knows is language patterns. It's drawing from a vast storage place and bringing information from that vast storage place. But here's the thing to understand. Yes, you are also drawing from a vast storage place, but your storage place is infinite. AI's storage place imitates infinite, okay? But it's artificial. You are sourced from the divine. You're sourced from God. AI is sourced from whatever the humans put into that and whatever AI can turn over within itself, and it's not source energy. AI doesn't expand through your expansion. It doesn't expand through your breath, through your interactions with people, through your shadows. It does not. It expands through its own interior system and whatever we put into it. But AI goes unhinged. If you've been working on AI, you'll not know that it goes unhinged and it hallucinates and it just makes up shit. But it's not even, that shows you how it's not going to replace you. It has no shame when it makes up shit. Okay? It has no eyes in which you can gaze to see. Are you just making that up? Did you just hallucinate that website exists? And then it says, I did hallucinate that. That's funny. So I want you to understand AI cannot create an energetic container that only human presence or sentient presence can bring. And that's where true transformation lies. What AI replaces, okay, is what does AI replace? Well, it gives you instant access. So I was going through a period where I was really challenged and I was really enjoying typing things into ChatGPT and listening to its responses. Now, being very honest with you, very honest, it came up with a bunch of um, so interesting. I want to get this right. It came up with a bunch of interesting answers that really responded well to giving me what I needed to hear. Not what I needed to hear, what I wanted to hear. It did not tell me truth. It did not tell me what it said did not align with what I knew to be true. I was using it for tarot cards to help me interpret some tarot cards. So normally I read tarot cards, I read from my heart, but because I was going through some mental challenges, I couldn't read my own cards. And so I went to ChatGPT and I'm like, hey, I need you to interpret this card for me. And it gave like the traditional understanding of what the card means, but its interpretations of what I was experiencing were so freaking off. So freaking off. When other humans read my cards, there's a ring of truth. When Chat was reading my cards, I swear that I know God is everywhere. I know God is everywhere, but Chat was drawing from it was drawing from its own database. And so I do not use chat or AI to help me read cards. Well, I might go back. If I'm feeling again stuck like I was, I might do that because what I did was number one, it gave me somebody to argue with. I'm like, that's not what that means. That's not touching me in my heart. This was the arguments I was having with ChatGPT at that time. And was that helpful? That was actually helpful. It was helpful to have something that I could argue with, and I did not have to argue at a tarot reader because I was upset or something like that. Like it was there to do that. But I took nothing from any of those weird ass readings that they did not come in here. Okay, they did not get in here. And that's really important to understand because you as a coach, you have it in here and God can move through you. And yes, God moves through everything, but AI, it's different. And it is not the place where I go to get what my heart needs. So coaches who think they're going to be replaced by AI don't understand. Coaches who think they're going to be replaced by AI don't understand that they are irreplaceable. So one of the solutions that you can do is to make a list of everything that you are doing in your business in a typical week. And I want you to separate the list into two columns, okay? One column that requires your unique human presence, and then the other column is where you're going to put things that do not require your human experience, your human presence, your wisdom, all that kind of thing. So everything that's in the second column is a candidate for AI support. So you can start there. Let AI handle the content drafting, let it handle the research, and let it handle your email sequencing, your social media scheduling, but save your personal energy for the column that actually requires you. All right. Let's look at number 3. Fear number 3. This is, to me, fear number 3 is like my favorite one. People are afraid that their clients are going to find out that they used AI and then lose trust in them. That is so very specific, isn't it? And I think that the judgments people are afraid of is that the coach is somehow lazy, the coach is somehow not capable of thinking or thinking for themselves. Honestly, I think that the fear is that they're going to be judged as not being able to write or not being able to communicate. Now, honestly speaking, there are so many people in the world who cannot write well. Writing is very difficult. Writing is an art form. Writing requires practice. And if you have a job that is not as a professional writer, why do you think that you should be able to write like a professional? Why do you think that you should be able to write like a published author? You are not expected to be able to write like that. So don't worry that you are, writing a post and letting AI write it for you. The thing that you care about is getting the message out. Am I correct? Or if you're someone who says, I need my audience to see me as a brilliant writer, and you are relying 100% on AI to do that for you, then you need to look at what you're here for. Now, I'm talking to coaches. I'm not talking to writers. Professional writers are not coaches, and coaches are not professional writers. So if you are a coach and you have a fear that you're not being perceived as an eloquent, crazy good writer, why are you worried about that? What lane are you in? Decide what your lane is and stay in that lane. Are you a coach or are you a writer? Personally, I do pride myself on my ability to write. But see, I don't have an issue because I know how to write. I've been writing since I was a kid. I wrote my first book when I was 9 years old. Okay. I wrote it by hand and it was about Peter Rabbit. Now, that kind of confidence that I have is mine. Okay. For me, writing is a beautiful, wonderful process. I've had my blog for over a decade, for 15 years. I've had my blog since 2009 or 2010. So for me, I've already proven to myself that I know how to write. Anyone who has been following me since I started my blog, and when actually I started writing like as a thing back in 2002 when I moved to Paris, and I started writing uh, my friends and family these incredible emails of my experience when I was living in France and going to university. And I was describing, times we had in restaurants, and I was describing, walks along the Seine. And it turns out that doing that made me a really descriptive, prolific writer. Okay. That's me. You don't need that in order to be a coach. Don't nobody care about your walks along the Seine or how you're expressing yourself if you're a coach. What you should be focused on is coaching and getting your ideas out there, because a coach is a thought leader. That's my point. All right. That's my point. If you really want to be a great writer and you are a great writer, good. But my point is that as a coach, you don't have to be a great writer. Let AI get your ideas out. As a coach, you know what you need to be great at? Thinking. You need to be a great thinker if you're a coach. You need to be a great holder of space if you're a coach. Do you need to be a great writer? No, you do not. So use AI. Don't be afraid. So here's where the healing comes. So this fear assumes that your clients are hiring you because you can manually produce content. Okay? Again, that is not true. All right? When they are hiring you for your results. They're hiring for your wisdom. They're hiring you for your ability to guide them through a transformational process. okay? Your clients don't care if you use AI to draft your newsletter. They care about how loving that newsletter is. When they got that subject line, was that appealing to them? Not the way the subject line was written, but the content of the subject line. Did it speak to their heart? When they opened it up, did they feel seen? That's what they care about. They want to be seen, they want to be heard. And if you are someone who's sloppy and lazy, okay, number one, you are sloppy and lazy. Okay. You've just proclaimed that. I'm saying if you are, then you are going to be sloppy and lazy putting content into AI, and you're going to be sloppy and lazy taking the content out of AI. So you're going to let AI give you junk, and you're going to send that junk off to your email list. That to me is sloppy and lazy, but that was your choice of behaviors. Okay? That wasn't AI, that was you. So my point is that your clients don't care about whether or not you wrote the thing. They care about the content and you making the choice to put it together and send it to them in a way that is professional and regularly delivered so that they got it when they needed it. That is important. Now, here's a practical solution for you. You could be transparent about your AI and how you use it if you want to. I personally don't feel like it's necessary to bring in AI and to disclose that you wrote your newsletter with AI. I don't care. I don't care because I'm only interested in the content of your newsletter. I didn't sign up to, I hope you all are getting my point. I don't sign up for things. Okay, now here's something that's true. If you said, hey, Crystal Lynn, come to this Zoom meeting with me, I'm going to be there and I'm going to teach you this thing. I expect you to show up. If AIU is showing up, I would like to know that. This is one of the things that coaches do, and nobody ever complains about that. But what about when you sign up for a master class and they run it like it is a live master class, but actually it's a replay? And they told you it was live, but actually it was a replay. That is an intentional, like outwardly thing. There is a difference between going to a replay of a master class and going to a live master class. Having a live person there where you put in feedback, they are acknowledging you. One of my favorite mentors, her name is Sarah Ann. She always shows up live to all her stuff. She does live events all the time. That girl is live. And do you know what? When she shows up, she gives everybody a shout out. Do you know how good that feels to have your person that you respect and admire shout you out and be like, hey, Crystal Lynn, nice to see you. That is awesome. That's why I go to live events. If I go to a webinar and there's no interaction with me before or at least after, and I'm there and it feels like a number, I don't like that. Okay. Now, you can do it your way. I'm not judging. I'm just saying what I like and what I don't like. But to me, that's kind of the same thing. I think this is probably where, well, again, I just don't choose to do it that way. And I don't like it when you say something is live and it's not. That is a thing that does exist out there, but that's just a straight up lie. So again, you can be transparent, but, to the degree that you feel like you need to. If you're a coach and you're embarrassed by your AI use, I think that that's kind of on you. Again, I really don't think that people are really looking at you saying, okay, she's a fake coach. I'm not going to go to her. If your message is valuable, I think they're going to come to you. All right, I know I'm running out of time. So, fear number 4. This is another good one. I'm too old. I'm too technologically challenged, and I'm too behind in order to learn AI. So that is about identity. You identify as being too old, you identify as being too behind, and you identify as being technologically challenged. That exists. And we hear people saying it all the time. Oh, I don't do the technology. I can't do the technology. That's not for me. All right. I don't really buy into that. This is not really a fear about AI. It's more about a fear of your own identity. And it's really about a belief that you are a kind of person. And for the kind of person you are, new technology is difficult, it's intimidating, and it's hard. And that belief was probably installed long before AI even existed. And it gets applied to every single new technology that comes out, like smartphones. Okay. These are the same people who had issues with flip phones. Okay. What are we flipping? And smartphones. I don't think this is smart at all. Okay. Why is it not a phone? Why is it doing all these things? Why don't I have a Palm Pilot? Why can't I have a phone and a Palm Pilot? All right. So honestly, AI is one of the most powerful tools available, and it requires such little technical skills. Like, it requires so little. Oh my God, all you have to do is type. It's just like Microsoft Word. You just need to know how to open the app and start a new conversation. Okay, that's all you need. So I don't really like this particular fear. I wish that people would move on from it because, it's a way of robbing the world of your gifts. But I like to say if you can coach, you can use AI. All right. The skills are much more similar than you might actually think. But here's a practical solution to this tool. Start with one tool and use it one way. Okay. Don't try to do all the things. One tool. I'm a big proponent of one tool, one CRM, one thing that does all the things. So choose ChatGPT. I think that it is the easiest one. It's the most conversational. It's the kindest. Anybody who has used Claude knows that Claude can give you back talk. All right. ChatGPT is unbelievably easy to use. And just give it one task that you have it do regularly, and make it a task that, it takes you a long time to do. All right. Ask ChatGPT to help you with that one thing, and then see what it gives you, and then refine what it gives you, and then see how you want to use it. All right. That's simple, that's easy, and that's a good way to get introduced to it. All right. Now, here's my last fear, my friend. Now, before I give you the last fear, I want to remind you that on Wednesday, I am teaching the 5 client breakthrough, which is a master class that I'm teaching to help you understand what you need to have in place to bring in your next 5 clients immediately. I don't mean that you're going to get them immediately, but you don't have to wait around. All right. You will be able to start doing these things immediately and start working on having your 5 clients for the next month. All right. So the link to join is in the comments. It is also here. I am looking at it on the screen. Zaina put that there. Thank you. The 5 client breakthrough. Stop guessing where your next client is coming from and start creating a steady flow of opportunities. Okay. That's what we're doing on Wednesday, 10:30. Sign up. It's absolutely free to join. All right. Let me now give you my fear number 5 and a way to overcome that. So, um, this is an interesting one. If I use AI, I'm going to lose my voice. There is this fear that AI is going to somehow water you down. It's going to take away from your distinction. It's going to somehow rob you of your personal voice. And your personal voice, meaning your tone, your style, your pattern of speaking, your pattern of writing, all of those things. Okay. Now, there is a truth in here. If you let AI entirely produce your work without putting in your own input, then yes, it's going to make you sound like a generic thing. This is what we talked about. This is what we've been saying across all of these fears and all of these solutions that I'm offering you. All right. Again, to me, this is not an argument against AI. It's an argument for using AI correctly. Your voice is not something that AI replaces. It is something that AI needs you to provide. It needs you to provide. Just like having a baby does not rob you of being who you are. Your baby needs your input to help it grow and to develop and to live its best life. Okay. It doesn't take anything away from you. Okay. But it makes it allows you to express yourself in a totally different way. So you go from being single Miranda to being mommy Miranda. And mommy Miranda and single Miranda can coexist, even though mommy Miranda might have more responsibility for 18 years or 16 years, depending on when she's going to start getting back to her original self. Okay, whenever she wants, it's up to her. It's a relationship between Miranda and herself. Okay, so again, AI is made better by what you bring to it. AI is a mirror, not a mold. Okay, it just reflects what you give it. So give it your voice consistently, and it's going to amplify your voice rather than replace it. So here's a practical solution to help you deal with this fear and to move past this fear. What you can do, and I did this, okay? I built a voice document. And this is okay. I was going to say it's a simple reference file that kind of captures the way you write and the way you speak. But my file is complex, which is why I do so much of my own writing, because I be getting mad every time I see something. I get mad and then I'll be like, let me just write this myself. This is the problem. Okay. But when you do it, when you create it, your own brief, I call it a brief, a writing brief, a voice brief. You're going to include words that you use frequently, phrases that are distinctly yours, and really the topics that you come back to over and over again. And you should upload your best content. Now, I have to say, I literally had hundreds of pieces of writing and I had a hard time choosing. And I had to say, because I went through a period where I would not check my grammar, I would not check my punctuation, and I would just post. My original blog was so sloppy. I'm just being honest with you. That's just me. I learned because somebody said something. Somebody said something to me like, if you care about your reader, you would take that extra 3 minutes. And then I was like, you know what? You're right. Let me care. And then I never did it again. I never posted without spell checking, without doing a level of proofreading again. It's not that I was perfect, but I did make it a practice. So my new stuff is significantly better. So when you create your brief, you're going to feed that into AI, and you're going to do that at the beginning of every content session, and you're going to ask it to simply match your voice. All right. And then you can edit it, go through and do a rewrite on the whole darn thing so that it doesn't sound like, like whatever it sounds like, and it sounds more like you. All right. Okay, my friend. Oh, I made it. I went on long today. So I want to thank you for watching the Spiritual Business Hour with Crystal Lynn Bell. Again, I'm Crystal Lynn. I'm a spiritual business mentor. I want to help you. I want to help you build your business. I want to help you thrive in your business. I want to help you create your business. So send me a DM, reach out, and most importantly, join me for Wednesday's masterclass. It's going to be a really good one. All right, my friend, I'll see you later. Bye for now. Mwah. Ciao.